Zkontroluj zvukovú stopu. Či sedí. Zkontroluj zvukovú stopu. Či sedí. Sedí zvuková stopa. Čo je toto?
Hello there. Well, case longer than rifles, of course. But I would have never imagined that Fixer will ever lose its first place as a ranged weapon, GPS-wise, to assault rifle. So the same modifications, legendary and normal ones, but the damage is high, 12 points. Yes, we have high AP cost, but we can swap Swift magazine for quick version. The difference is less ammo capacity, 5 plus less, but 7 AP cost instead of 6 is not that much. Well, probably assault rifle isn't number one DPS wise because we have Elder Smart and other PPUs, but it reloads faster than Fixer, has a decent recoil and just fits better in Fallout World. By the way, the Fixer reloads like half of a second longer, more or less. And speaking of recoil, let's try here. Wow, my barrel is not stabilized. But if we try Fixer, look here, there, you see the difference. So once again, Assault Dude is not the best rifle DPS wise, but it deals a ton of damage per second and can be quite versatile. For example, here we can aim, wow, more or less actually. Okay, I still hope that Buff will make Headmate stronger. It is a good damage dealer and everything, but Assault Dude is 25% stronger. And obviously stronger than Fixer, though Fixer has more sneak damage bonus. I think we can try Bloody version just to see how it performs. Senorita Bloody, welcome aboard. Just in case I'm using the same exact build from the previous video, please check it out. Where I show you my perk loadout, my armor, my mutations, specials, and well, everything.
Tú otázku aj na Dominiku. Zuzka sa pýta, že oni keď teda s kamoškami pozerávali hokej, tak vždy mali nejakého toho svojho favorita, nejaký ten sex symbol, obľúbenca, že či si aj ty mala niekoho takého, ak áno, kto to bol?
Ja som čakala, že sa ma toto opýtaš ty. Neviem prečo, prepáč. Áno, ja som bola zamilovaná do Lašáka.
Jaj. No pekne, tak pozdravujeme Janička.
A
ja
ešte
keby
tak
som sa to
tajne,
pýtal.
akože tak sa to striedalo, že s Lášákom a s Gáboríkom, akože to mám pravdu.
Si ho stretla dneska.
Áno.
No.
Zaujímavé, že ja som sa nikde dostal medzi tých sympatiákov. Neviem, jak to podľa čoho to...
Počkaj,
Podľa
ale
čoho sa
pozor
to
sa.
určuje, že je sympatický hokejista. Keď do toho nálave
z
toto...
môjho pohľadu si veľmi sympatický. A Domča, povedz, ako sa to
Dokonca,
meria.
dokonca som videl, hokejisti mali aj čierne sklá.
A nie si sympatický živý.
Ja neviem, podľa mňa,
To som bol úplne na konci vždy.
za tej éry, kedy som to pozerávala, fakt, že som bola pri telke, tak ja som vás, akože vám veľmi fandila. Pre mňa, akože toto dnešný deň je pre mňa naozaj, že zážitok, že som s legendami proste hokejovými. Naozaj.
Čo je to za pičisku?
Zaplieskaj si. Ďakujeme.
A ja hovorím Žigovi backstage, že ja už viem, kde sme sa my videli.
Úzke.
Nie. Tam sa uvidíme teraz.
Tu sa rozprávali o Púske, že to sú naše noviny.
Áno, najviac.
Dominika a ja. Nadsázka.
Takže máme konečne niečo spoločné.
Je.
A my sme sa videli na jednom zápase hokejovom, kde som spievala. A my sme sa tam videli na laď a tak sme sa na seba pozreli, hovorím, že na mňa sa pozrel Žigo Pál.
Že aký sympož, že?
No, takže vtedy, ja
Lebo
neviem.
som chcel vedieť, jak tá anketa vzniká, že kto je sympatický. Ja som bol posledný. Už to neviem, kde si bol ty.
Ja som bol predposledný.
A vždycky vyhrával Branko Radivej, že kto tam ešte bol.
Seštáci tak
Máš
nežiarli,
ich zubov,
ale...
Žiaril som.
Dopraje druhým.
Ja to chápem, že proste...
No ja si myslím, že táto debata bude musieť mať ešte pokračovanie. Takže v tejto chvíli
Sme v ďalšom dieli,
Dominika
vieš?
Mirgová, ďakujem veľmi pekne.
Mirgová.
Žigo Bounty, Alebo Višňovský.
To vyzerá nejako inak, ja už neviem ako vyzerá tie piči sú. Už neviem ako vyzerá tie piči sú. Dingledong, dingleback, dingleback. Budem potrebovať trochu tabaku, ale to myslím, že dám. Máš nejaké peniaze? Áno, máš. Si úplne o ničom chlapina. To nemám žiadne bubble and endurance. Nikto nechce odkúpiť tovar tie hovnové? No čo to hnové?
Prezident Peter Pellegrini včera pripustil, že stále teda to vidí aj na predčasné parlamentné voľby. Vy už ste v roli ministra, teda zúčastňujete sa aj vlády. Ako to vy vidíte? Ako sa teda vládne? Či je teda pokoj a nevyzerá to na takúto situáciu?
Ja som včera videl viacero článkov s nadpisom, že Peter Pellegrini očakáva predčasné voľby. Keď som si prečítal jednotlivé články, ja som sa nedozvedel o tom, že by pán Pellegrini chcel predčasné voľby, respektíve by ich očakával. Takže skutočne aj vás, médiá, prosím, už nejakým spôsobom začnite pracovať na tom, aby sme upokojili verejnú mienku a nechajte túto vládu pracovať. Ja som tu počul kolegyňu, ako tu menovala mnoho tém, ktoré vraj Slovenskom nesúvisia a my riešime témy, ktoré nie sú priamo v styku s životom občanov Slovenska. Ale ak dneska niekto povie, že s slintačkou, krývačkou, Trumpovými clami prekrývame situáciu na Slovensku, to sú absolútne blúdy. Ja som bol na hospodársko-sociálnej rade, kde sa rozprávalo, že tá daň, respektíve clá, ktoré zavádza Trump, výrazným spôsobom ovplyvňujú naše národné hospodárstvo, pretože neviem, či pani Štolová vie z hľadiska toho, že nememoruje, že skrátka automobilový priemysel, včetne subdodávok, dneska zamestnáva 600 000 pracovných miest. Slovensko naozaj zajtra môže byť Detroitom v prípade, že sa tie veľké automobilové mocnosti, ktoré podotýkam, odvážajú kapitál z našej krajiny preč, rozhodnú, že tu skoncujú, respektíve presmejú svoju výrobu do krajín tretieho sveta z titulu lacnej práce ako takej. Takže s ohľadom na tie clá, ktoré zavádza Trump, je to veľmi, veľmi nebezpečné pre slovenskú ekonomiku a hospodárstvo. Takže týkajú sa tie témy.
Aké výsledky podľa vás teda prinesie Maroš Šefčovič? Zajtra má ísť do USA rokovať. Môže niečo teda priniesť na Slovensku niečo výhodnejšie?
Tak ja si myslím, že natoľko je zdatný politik, natoľko je zdatný manažer a natoľko je zdatný hlavne človek, ktorý pozná vzťahy v tom Bruseli. A myslím si, že to nie je typ človeka, ktorý nejakým spôsobom tam išiel zradiť Slovensko a pevne verím, že teda vyrokuje všetko, čo sa týka, keď má dôveru pána premiéra, tak si myslím, že spochybňovať by sme ho mali až potom, keď stade príde a nevyrokuje nič, respektíve vyrokuje podmienky, ktoré nie sú výhodné pre slovenského občana.
Ste to možno spokojní s tým, čo ponúka Európska únia ako proti týmto americkým slám, prípadne možno aj tú pomoc, ktorú ponúka slovenským automobilkám. Hovoríme teraz napríklad aj o tých kohezných fondoch.
Pozrite sa, mne tu chýba politika takých viac, respektíve iných riešení, ako sa fixovať na tento segment. Vieme sa tu rozprávať o rozvoji potravinovej sebestačnosti na Slovensku, vieme sa tu rozprávať o tom, akým spôsobom by sa dala znova obnoviť poľnohospodárska výroba a potravinová sebestačnosť na Slovensku, čo si myslím, že aj v rámci cestovného ruchu táto krajina potenciál má. Čiže cestovný ruch, ruka v ruke s rozšírením znova výrobných kapacít slovenských potravín, ale aj celkovo agrárno-lesníckeho sektora na Slovensku je riešením pre Slovensko, ako nahradiť aj výpadky v rámci automobilového priemyslu. Takže ja by som očakával skôr, že tu niekto príde s riešeniami tohto typu. Lebo ako upínať sa na jeden segment v rámci tohto stavu Európy, a viete veľmi dobre, akým spôsobom by nás ohrozila ten zákaz tých spaľovacích aut po roku 35, to by bola pre Slovensko totálna katastrofa. Potom si tu niekto kladie otázku ohľadom Šurian, keď tu premiér hľadá nejaké rezervné riešenia. Viete, na jednej strane je čisto populistické témy opozície a niektorých politikov neparlamentných strán. Na druhej strane my sa zaoberáme relevantnými skutočnosťami, ovplyvňujúcim zásadným spôsobom život občanov na Slovensku a hospodárskú stabilitu krajiny. A toto ruka v ruke nejde s týmito témami populistickými. V každom ohľade sa snažia nejakým spôsobom spochybniť túto vládu. Povedzme si otvorene, keby vyhralo progresívne Slovensko, s tým by sa vôbec dalo dokopy, aby dokázalo vládnuť. Čo si myslíte, že z KDH by im to fungovalo, respektíve s tým bláznivým Slovenskom, ktorí nevedia, kde je hlava, kde je sever a jednoducho sme tu videli následky, budeme dlho rokov ešte sanovať. Čiže naozaj si tu treba z titulu občana nejakým spôsobom začať historicky uvedomovať, čo ktorá politická garnitúra tomu Slovensku priniesla a čo naopak, ktorá ohrozila to Slovensko. Takže keby každý začal vnímať reálne a nie len populisticky a nie len posledné 2 týždne pred voľbami, tak by to tu vyzeralo celkom inak.
V parlamente sa zrejme čoskoro zjavia 2 vetované návrhy zákonov, ako včera prezident povedal. Jedna je renta pre generálneho prokurátora doživotná, druhá je covidová amnestia. Vy tam máte 3 poslancov ako národná koalícia. Prelomíte toto veto?
Pozrite sa, my sme podpísaní memoranda a teraz podotýkam nie so Smerom, ale s pánom Robertom Ficom ako predsedom vlády, sa zaviazali, že naši poslanci, ktorí dnes tiež sú 4, sa výrazným spôsobom budú podieľať na plnení programu vlády Roberta Fica. Takže vám garantujem, že my budeme konzistentní s vládou, tak ako sme sa zaviazali. Vždy sme boli pevnou súčasťou vlády ako národná koalícia a vždy ňou aj budeme. Čiže čo sa týka prelomenia veta, ak sa dohodneme na koaličnej rade, že ho ideme prelomovať, tak určite naši poslanci budú.
Ako vnímate to, že pán prezident jedno zrejme vetuje a druhé určite vetuje?
Povedzme si otvorene, byť v roli prezidenta Slovenskej republiky je ťažké byť, lebo pán Pellegrini si určite uvedomuje, že musí byť občanmi, teda musí byť prezidentom pre všetkých občanov Slovenska. A byť medzi dvomi mlynskými kameňmi nie je jednoduché. Nájsť optimálne riešenia, aby vyvolalo čo najväčšiemu množstvu ľudí, je to najťažšie, čo sa dá.
Ako vnímate počínanie aj samotný výstup pána Kotlára? V relácii ste sa ho zastal, tak nám vysvetlíte, že aký pohľad vy máte na jeho aktivity a teda aj výzvy voči premiérovi z poslednej tlačovky.
Pán Kotlár robí záslužnú robotu, za ktorú možno nebude ocenený teraz, bude ocenený neskôr, pretože skutočne to, že nechce, aby nejakým spôsobom u nás rozhodoval jeden človek, ktorý bude šéfom VHO, samozvaný pán planéty v tomto slova zmysle, čo sa týka ovládania pandemických opatrení celého zainteresovaného spektra krajín, ktoré tú zmluvu podpísali, v tomto plnú podporu u nás pán Kotlár má. To, akým spôsobom komunikuje, žiaľ my ovplyvniť nevieme. Zvolil v tomto slova zmysle nešťastné riešenie tej komunikácie. Ja som mu niekoľkokrát povedal, že tá komunikácia mala byť upriamená na ekonomické trestné činy, nezvládnutie pandémie, zosobnenie, prípade nejakým spôsobom vyzdvihnutie toho, že nám tu umrelo pomaly 24 000 ľudí a následkami neodbornej, respektíve neposkytnuté zdravotnej starostlivosti ďalších x dôchodcov a dokopy ja rátam to číslo, že cez 35 000 to potvrdil štatistický úrad pri jednotlivých voľbách. Viete veľmi dobre, takže skutočne my stojíme ako národná koalícia za pánom Kotlárom, akurát na druhej strane tiež niekedy si myslím, že tie médiá vyhľadujú niektorým vyjadreniam, ktoré by možno ani nechcel povedať.
A ako vnímate podotázku, ako vnímate to, že on vlastne žiada od premiéra, aby v podstate do 30. júna zastavil očkovanie tými mRNA vakcínami, ktoré stále prebieha, alebo stále sú rizikoví ľudia, ktorí si potrebujú dať túto vakcínu?
Pozrite sa pána Kotlára ako odborníka, ako lekára si páči. Už len to, že vyštuduje dneska 6 rokov medicíny, si myslím, že vzhľadom na to učivo a na to množstvo vedomostí, ktoré ten človek musí mať, tak nemôže sa niekto o ňom vyjadriť, že je hlúpy, respektíve, že je neodborník. Ja nepoviem nad žiadnym lekárom úzus, že nie je odborník alebo múdry človek. Každý jeden si zaslúži maximálne uznanie spoločnosti. Na druhej strane možno tá voľba tej komunikácie, respektíve nejakým spôsobom urobiť osvetu pre širokú škálu ľudí, by som asi iný spôsob komunikácie určite volil a netlačil premiéra do niečoho, čo on sám nedokáže, povedzme si to otvorené.
Jedna vec je forma, druhá vec je obsah. Pán Kotlár je ortopéd, on nie je epidemiológ. Mal by on práve hovoriť občanom, či sa očkovať alebo neočkovať. Má na to odbornosť podľa vás?
Vidíte, zase sa tu staviate do nejakej role posudzovača toho, že či pán Kotlár má odbornosť, nemá. Viete veľmi dobre, že minimálne 4 roky na tej fakulte, respektíve na tej škole, kde pán Kotlár študoval, je všeobecných, čiže to lekárstvo, čo sa týka všeobecných znalostí, sa určite nevedeli 4 rokov zaoberalo aj očkovaním, respektíve akým spôsobom a aké očkovacie látky a čo ovplyvňujú v ľudskom tele. Čiže pán Kotlár, neverím tomu, že nemá tieto vedomosti a zvlášť za 1,5 roka, keď ničie nerobí, s tým človekom sa nedalo ísť na pivo, pretože len človek tie materiály dostal. Myslíte si, že človek s jeho mozgovou kapacitou, keď dokázal zvládnuť tú medicínu za 1,5 roka, pri komunikácii s odborníkmi na COVID v rámci celého sveta a dokonca ešte aj v angličtine, že nenadobudol dostatočný dosah jednoducho vedomosti na to, aby dneska, ja si myslím, že on by na tomto mohol aj dizertačnú prácu, respektíve si spraviť aj úplne inú kvalifikáciu ako lekár, čo má znalosti v tejto oblasti. Takže ja by som ho nepodceňoval.
Hovoríte, že na to odbornosť má. Mal by ho teda premiér vypočuť a mal by zastaviť očkovanie? Minister zdravotníctva mal by zastaviť očkovanie v júni?
Ja sa vám tu z pozície ministra cestovného ruchu športu nebudem teraz vyjadrovať k takto odborným záležitostiam. Nesedel som nikdy s premiérom a s pánom Kotlárom na šesťkočí, aby som vedel, ako prebieha medzi nimi komunikácia. Toto sú otázky na pána Kotlára, pána premiéra, žiaľ nie na mňa.
Ešte by som sa vrátila k tomu vetu, čo sa týka pána Žilinku, tam už teda z úst Smeru zazneli tipy na to, kto by sa mohol stať novým generálnym prokurátorom. Pán Lindner, pán Para, pre vás sú to akceptovateľné voľby, alebo vám svieti nejaká kontrolka, lebo to sú čisto smerácké ľudia?
Pozrite sa, my sme podpísali s pánom premiérom, že bude národná koalícia konzistentná v rámci rozhodnutí vládnej koalície a my ho podporíme.
A ja ešte na záver, keď vás tu máme, už ste teda nejaký ten týždeň v kresle ministra športu a cestovného ruchu, teda ako sa vám ministruje a či už máte nejaké výsledky auditu?
Pozrite sa, dal som si robiť vnútorné audity, čo sa týka či už personálnych záležitostí, záležitostí finančných a záležitostí takisto aj právnych. Tieto si zatiaľ nechám pre seba ako tromfy pre mňa v prípade toho, keď niekto mi tu nechcel, bude chcieť nejakým spôsobom mazať či už medové motúzy alebo výhražného charakteru pod nos. Ďalšia vec je, spravil som 8600 km za mesiac s tým, že ráno chodím na ministerstvo o 8:30 a končím tam väčšinou o 10:30 a trávim dosť času aj po akciách, ktoré skrátka musím absolvovať. Takže myslím si, že výsledky mojej práce a 43 personálnych výmen za 1,5 týždňa hovorí o tom, že naozaj na tom ministerstve aj niečo robíme.
Máte, keď ste vymenili, máte toľko odborníkov na výmenu?
Verte tomu, že máme toľko odborníkov na to.
Jednu tému, keby som, mohla, tento týždeň pán premiér hovoril, že sa cíti ako idiot, lebo orgány činné v trestnom konaní podľa neho nekonajú tak, ako by mali. Teraz pán Matovič hovoril v relácii, že jeho nikto nestíha, pán Nár tento týždeň hovoril, jeho nikto nestíha, nič sa nestíha, voliči to chcú, aby sa to stíhalo. Vy to ako vnímate?
Vnímam, že voliči skutočne chcú, aby niekto bol zodpovedný za nezvládnutú pandémiu, za rozšapáranie 24 miliárd a hlavne za ozbrojenie armády Slovenskej republiky. Ja som všetkými 10 a určite akúkoľvek iniciatívu v rámci týchto vyšetrení a v rámci toho, aby ľudia skutočne a bolo zadôzučinenie spravodlivosti, tak toto v tomto slova zmysle Národná koalícia podporí kedykoľvek o polnoci v noci.
No len nie je teda toto dôkazom, že nie je dosť dôkazov?
Nemyslím si, že nie je dosť dôkazov. Myslím si, že nechcú odviesť tak povrchnú prácu a nejakým spôsobom to zastrešiť kajúcnikmi, ako to urobila vláda Igora Matoviča, lebo vieme veľmi dobre, že na základe ich výsledkov sa im všetko rozsypalo a dneska tie zásadné obvinenia, respektíve tie zásadné kľúčové osoby, ktoré mali skončiť za mrežami, tam neskončili a je to jedno veľké fiasko. Takže myslím si, že... Počkajte, a myslíte si, že ten súd bude úspešný? Tak vidíme mnoho vecí, ktoré sa nepotvrdilo, respektíve koľko vecí im zlyhalo. Tí kajúcnici sú tu navzájom, sa priznávajú a jednoducho ja vidím to, že to bolo skutočne urobené tak s červenými, krvavými očami, niekomu sa pomstiť, ale veľmi neodborným spôsobom. Tak myslím si, že v tomto naozaj to vyžaduje čas.
Ďakujeme za sledovanosť.
Nič si nepovedal, Pičus. Hovoril si veľa, ale nepovedal si nič. Hovoril si veľa. A nepovedal si nič. Čo je trochu šokujúce. Hovoril si veľa, nepovedal si nič. Vieš prečo? On si skorumpovaný pličus. Korupčná jednotka. Nič. Znova odsýpam 2 jednotky. Ako nemôžem si pomôcť, 2 jednotky sú najlepšie zápasy. To sa nedá na dvoch kokotov byť dole fixované na tie kurvy chore. No to sa nedá pozerať na tie kokoty. To fakt nie. No to automaticky dáva. Jak pitches to no. A to sa fakt nedá. Ak chceš odkúpiť tovar, tak chod do pagody skôr, nie chorý človek. Možno... Power XL jednotka zápina pitches. Toto. Co si... Ne, nebudem fixovať na dve kurvy dole, to sa... Ako znova si musíme povedať jednu vec. Ten zápas bol ľahší, keď som ho fixoval na spodnú líniu, koľko to... Ako išiel som tam, lebo tam boli fragy. A išiel tam tuším aj nejaké pitches a... I tam išiel som ísť. To sú všetko chorí ľudia. Steve Meister. Asi kokocká, hej, to sú tak spičenci. Čo tento bude hovoriť, tento pičis, tento chorý jedinec, tento Čech, Brenek. To je tiež pekný pičis, tento Brenek. Tiež pekný
Přátelé,
pičis.
vyšel nám asi 100 stránkový patch notes na druhou sezónu do Last Epochu, která vychází 17. dubna v 6 hodin večer. No a krom toho tady máme celou řadu různých článků, různých interview a tak dále. Na kanále už najdete jako příkladu 2 videa, které se týkají těch článků, najdete souhrn rozhovorů i všechny další videa, které vlastně už byly předtím zveřejněny. Vývojáři dneska teda vydali ty patch notes, já osobně jsem se tím snažil pročítat, ale hodně těch věcí se tam opakuje upřímně a raději mi přišlo vhodnější se s váma podívat na ten anglický vlastně trailer, ve kterém vám v 20 minutách ukážu všechny ty nejnovější věci. Já se vám pokusím vždycky u těch vizuálních ukázek to pozastavit to video, vysvětlit vám, co to je, co to bude přinášet a do některých v částí, kde to bude vhodné, vám třeba dát více informací. Přijde mi to, že si z toho vezmeme všichni daleko víc, když to vizuálně uvidíme, než vám tady číst 40 minut nějaký prostě souhrn peče. Takže bez dalšího kecání, pojďme rovnou na video. Tak jo.
Hello, travelers. I'm Judd Kobler, game director for Last Epoch and founder of 11th Hour Games.
Ředitel a zakladatel 11th Hour Games.
Coming in season 2, called Tunes of the Erased, releasing on April 17th.
17. dubna, 6 hodin večer u nás. Trvalo jim to díl, ale přidali všechno, co hráči chtěli. Endgame, content varianty, balance.
Asi retardovaný. Pustíme si Fallout. You are solo, you motherfucker. You worthless grudge. You are solo, you worthless grudge. Aký piču ti je support? Sám si šmakuješ dole. Čo ja by som do piče dal za to, keby som mohol točiť dole 1-2 a ty kokoti sú nespokojní. To je to, čo by som chcel. Sám proti dvom otačať. Sám proti dvom otačať. To je to, čo by som chcel. Sám proti dvom otačať. To, čo by som chcel sám proti dvom otačať. Tvrdo to raziť, tvrdo to lustrovať. Tento primitív zadrbány chorý tiež mozgu. Odrovnaný skurvisyn. Piče. Piče, ten kokot to je. A môžem nič robiť do sačky. Sa to s prostou kurvou. Pretože tam tá sačka bola v tom kríku. Skurvený Darius. Skurvený skurvisyn. Bol v tom kríku. Jeden, že ho nezabila väža, toho piče sa. Kurva chorá. Trošku ma to odstavilo, ale idem náspäť. Si kúpiť topánky a môžem odsypať. A toto je zlý kšeft. Piču, stojí zaujímavé, to je skurvisyn chorý. Si chorý? Jebnutý feeder nám ide. Odpad, zabil ťa tupý eko, taký si chorý. Taký si chorý. Sprostý vránač. Chorý mentálny schizofrenik. Zabil ťa sprostý eko, taký si sprostý. Jebo. Znánitého súdka. Skurvysyn nám ide. Skurvysyn. No, teraz musím si ho skurvysynom byť. Si chorý, na tom ide. Si chorý. Si chorý a nechal si sa vylízať. Si chorý. A nechal si sa vylízať. Ako môže byť taký chorý a nechať sa vylízať? Ako môže byť taký chorý? Na tom tope máme gášpa z prostého. Dole už sa zachrachal. Dole už sa zachrachal. Ty chorý jedinec vyjebaný. Na tope sú fragy. A to ghostuje, na to sem, ten koko nemá ghost. God the fucker. The worthless jovial. The worthless bitch lover. Nám ide skorumpovaný vychrachanec. Nachrachaný Svein si z toho robí pagodu. Prečo neutáča 2v1 dole? Prečo netočí 2v1 ten vychrchaný jedinec? Už si chorý, nevieš ho auto atakovať, lebo si chorý. Bol by mŕtvy. Nevieš ho auto atakovať, lebo si chorý. Bol by znova vylízaný. By som dostal nejaké drobné. Bol si chorý. Nevieš brať jeden auto a tak návrh. Bol si chorý. No. Bože, to je kokot. To je hniloba sprostá. Bože, to je hniloba. Čo tam dole vylizuje? Čo tam dole došiel vylizovať? Ako zabil toho chuja. To sa počíta, to sa počíta. Zabil toho gášpara chorého. Bože, ty sprostý chorý jedinec. Dobre, naspäť na to pre ten chorý jedinec. Chorý jedinec. Klasický marksman. Lepšie, keď je takto vylizovaný. Ako otvorene si povedzme. Lepšie, keď je vylizovaný. Lepšie, keď je vylizovaný. Game mal 2-0. Chorý jedinec, chorý kokotí jedinec. V mozgu zasratý. Mŕtvohlavný chuj. Ten Sven chodí ako pičis po tej mape. Tak skorumpovaný. Skorumpovaný jedinec. Bože, tak kokot. To sú 3 skorumpované jedince. Oma. Skorumpovaný jedinec. Sú skorumpovaní jedinci. Čo je toto za skorumpovaného kokota? Sprostého. Bože, bože. Dvacet sekúnd. Skorumpovaní jedinci. Skorumpovaní jedinci. Fucking off. Extrémne skorumpovaní jedinci. Tam vidieť, ako sú rozmiestnení. Oni zovali tú sáčku, tie hnisy. Čo robí tá sáčka? Sú mŕtvi v hlave. Jebnutí ľudia. Chorí, zdegenerovaní, jebnutí kokoti. Lebo si mentálne vyjebaná, sprostá, tupá, feederská kurva, podobne ako ten kokot nám ide. Zdegenerovaná, tupá, dementná. Chorá v mozgu. Necháte sa jedným kokotom ekom zosiať, kokoti. Ale že ho nedobehnem. You serious? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing there? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And like, the bot lane is over. Laning phase is over. What is he doing there? Oh, nič. What is it doing there? What is it doing there? Look at this. Like, look at this. Like, this is fucking bad. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you fucking demented? Fucking inverted 13 kills. Fucking me up. Fucking hell, man. Oh, this fucking retard. No wonder he's dead every fucking time. Get off, you fucking retard. At least take the fucking flower, you idiot. Fucking pathetic people. Fucking retard. Fucking primitive as hell. Úplný kokoti. Títo ľudia sú úplní, to sú imbecilovia. Ale títo ľudia sú sprostí jak tak. Fuck. I think Magic Guys is right now, unfortunately. The fucking shit is fat. If it hits me, I'm gonna hurt. No reason to risk it. No fucking reason to risk that. Kokocká pičovina jebnutá v mozgu. Dement. No, jako je na to, It's fine. Look at this, you're fucking primitive. Like, you're all fucking primitives, you fucking idiots. Úplný kokoti. Ja mám chuť to avknúť, aby tí kokoti išli do pičov, to sú kokoti ľudia. To sú jebutí kokoti ľudia, ktorí nerozumejú, že midlane najdôležitejšiu pozíciu nám ide majú kokota, džungle je primitív, koko na tope začal tiež feedovať. Fucking retards. Fucking idiots. Look at the fucking mid laner sucking dicks on top. Like, look at him. Like, look at him. Like, look at this shit. Like, look at this fucking pathetic shit. Like, look what's going on. Like, these people are fucking dead. Dead in the head. Like, dead in the fucking head. 0,6, 0,7. 0,6, 0,7. Úplný idiot. Úplný idiot potlačil minionov do riti. Úplný degener. A na tohto kokota. Máš 0,7, ty máš 0,6. Dva totálne kokoty. Si úplne chorý v hlave. Koľko potrebujem? 1400. Koľko potrebujem? Bože, títo ľudia, keď ste... Toto pičovina dole čo robí? Dosť to navezané? Čo to razí jak hnoj? $1550, ne, 1400. Beriem si Magi. Nemusím postaviť teraz celý oný. Nemusím postaviť celý oný. Nebo ten Protean. Stačí mi 45 Magic Resistance na rozchodím toho kokota Eka. Keď ma náhodou že trafil. Mám imbecila Šaka, neviem čo čakali sa bude diať v tom zápase. Kokoti. Ktorí sprostí, tupí kokoti. Primitívové akcii.
Detecting terminated management personnel. Remove this individual from the premises.
Lebo si kokot a začal si barona, ktorého si začať nemal. Ty chorý odpad. Ty chorý odpad. Ale tomu v živote v tej nahnitej hlave nenapadne, že to barona nemôže dávať ďalej, že ho musí pustiť. Lebo je kokot a je to zlý baron. Zvolíme teraz Proteana. Proste tí ľudia, oni sú úplne mimo akékoľvek reality toto.
Adequate uranium volume extracted and processed. Output quality increased.
Títo ľudia sú tak sprostí. Títo ľudia sú tak extrémne sprostí. Ale tak extrémne tupí. Mentálne vyhnutý jak nikto.
Detecting terminated management personnel. Remove this individual from the premises.
Krist, pána. Čaká na killsteal jak kokot Glaskan. A toto ide v rámci moc, čo? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh fucking shit. No fucking shit, že to silnou mocou ide brániť. Ale koľko to čaká? Ako to nie je to, ľudí čaká, že máš v týme, to musíš dožinúť, to nemá zmysel. To je o ničom. No.
Adequate uranium volume extracted and processed. Output quality increased.
Bože, ten Brian. Tak odpad makaróna. Tak odpad makaróna.
Detecting terminated management personnel. Remove this individual from the premises.
Tak odpad chorého makaróna. Odpad chorého makaróna. Ako ten Smolder. Ako títo marksmeni. Ty kokos títo ľudia, to je šok. Šok. To je. Možno Havel, ale v kom? Kto je? Kto je?
Extraction complete. Extractors must complete cleaning and ventilation process before continuing operation. Please vacate.
Ja si kladem jednu otázku. Či chcem zapínať Ligu retardov? Ty kona, to je vypasenec. Mercy Food Job. Úplný imbecil. Úplný imbecil. Úplný imbecil. Žena, máš niečo na predaj? Máš niečo? God damn it, žena. To je istý Matan. Veď škorpión omelet, tak je všetky one. To je tá Liga retardov. A neviem, či chcem spúšťať zase Ligu retardov. Kto je? To je strašné, pozrieť to. To je strašné, pozrieť to. To je strašné. Čo toto bolo za ľudí? Tak ne, tak začali so Šakom. 2.11. To je stále tam isto. To máš Šaka v týme, extrémne vysoká šanca, že prehráš ten zápas. Extrémne vysoká šanca, že prehráš. To sú idioti, ktorí majú v hlave nasraté. Pretože oni nevytvárajú tlak, oni neengagujú súboje. Oni neengagujú súboje a nevytvárajú tlak. Oni čakajú na kill stealy. Oni nič nerobia. To je ten problém s tými pikmi. To je ten problém, že čo robia s tým Šakom. No nič s tým nerobia, to je ten problém. To je ten problém, ktorý to je. Prečo mám taký malý damage? Nikto si to kokotol není zmutovaný? Ja som len dal glowing meat steak. Namiesto 8. Ja som prepísal ten damage. Ja som prepísal ten Martinov damage. Fuck. Ja som len dal glowing meat steak. To je problém, no. To som nevedel, že to je 8. 8 je death claw stack. 9 nemôžem dávať. Fuck. To je to, na škodu veci. 8. Chip žije? Chip? Pekný bastardi. Zapnite to a odsypajte. Nech točíme tie fragy. Vyhnové. To nikto nie je, to som sám. Čo to je za nelobuzos? Shit. Execution tenderizer. Bobo je to tenderizer, ja som sa nemal nikdy naučiť. Teraz je v kuse padá ten hnoj. To pičica. Ja to idem predať, tie pičné polievky, tie expové polievky. Sú úplne k pagode. To vlastne nemôžem predať, musel by som niečo kúpiť. Nič. Vieš, dole postavme tu kolektor Nuka-Coli. Chip. Chip.
those stuffy old cooking shows from before the war would say about wasteland cuisine.
Cheap. Cheap. Už postavíme tu oného. Dočasne tu postavíme jedného knoflikáža, neviem kde, tuto, tak je to jedno. Tu sa volá Resource Collector, Resources. Tu je mal byť, sa mi zdá. Toto je ono. Cheap. A kde ho líznem? Sem? Dokonca vyzerá, že je to promiskuitný. Furniture enter is blocked. TC blocked.
Swamp tofu? I need a new name in a marketing campaign.
Prečo píše sáčky? Dobre, sem nás. White Spring. Cheap. Počkej, to nie, ale on. Je? Je to tu? Ani toto. Piče dát.
A keď začneme tými príhodami, tak ako môžeme, tak hneď na úvod, také, že prišiel som do LA a ja tým, že som bol nováčik, tak tam bolo myslím, že 9 prípravných zápasov a tréner ma dal hrať každý jeden zápas a hneď prvý zápas som dal gól a tak akože hneď aj prišiel generálny manažer za mnou, že wow, že to nečakali a že taký iný štýl hokeja som povedal, že som to nahrával útočníkom na palice a tak a ja taký happy a teraz ja som ten prvý mesiac nebol na hoteli, ale Žigo ma zobral k sebe a Žigo prišiel za mnou a hovorí, čo sa tešíš? Aj tak pôjdeš na farmu.
Takže,
ale teraz je dôležité, Žigo, bolo to tak?
Ale lepšie, keď to počul odo mňa, ako niekoho iného, vieš, že
Ty si ho vlastne psychologicky pripravoval.
Áno, ja som ho pripravoval na to, že nevieš, čo sa stane, lebo však máš dobrý pre-camp, jak sa tomu hovorilo, tak a išiel si na farmu, že to bolo veľmi zložité. On bol maličký, ale akože bol silný na tom puku, neskutočne, a to sa im asi páčilo v Los Angeles.
Myslíš, že to bola jediná situácia, kedy si sa ty hokejovo pomýlil?
Asi áno, to bola asi prvá a posledná. Ale som rád, že som sa pomýlil, lebo Slovák tam prakticky nebol žiadny, okrem Jožka Štimpela. A potrebovali sme viac a viac a potom prichádzali Češi, ale som rád, že sa chytil a pokračoval v NHL.
Čo sa tešíš, že ja tak pôjdeš na farmu?
No.
Wise Mothman, you have accepted our invitation. We came to meager insects before your intellect. Come, children, allow the wise one to gaze upon you. Bask in his infinite wisdom.
Kde to bolo tu? To bolo Refugee. To bolo tuto. No. Tam má plno núkakov, tam bol celý štosík. Tuto je to, že tu odkúpim veci. Čej, 7 kúskov, tak, orange, quantum, wow, G-povka. A predám ti nejaké šmarky. Predám ti Radix Delete 38. A odkúpil som 14 odkúpených. Mal by som trochu vylízať tam tie dole. Enforcer outfit. Wow.
Abundance of trinkets for sale, available for your perusal. Well, maybe not an abundance. I could really use a day off. But Bishop won't run it.
Nechce niekto odkúpiť môj tovar. Chorý piče sova. Oh, man. Sa mi nechce ísť točiť tá Liga Retardo. To sú chorí ľudia tam. Ja neviem, čo zase to bolo. Tak ja fakt neviem, ako to je tretia výhra, ale to som zomrel s kurvami. Ale z dola som vytočil 6.022 a 6.017, to je také šovinizmy. Ale ja neviem, či bolo zase toto za ľudí. To sú chorí ľudia. V hlave nákadenie, vôbec nevie, čo majú robiť, tam kvási ako píči, splače o pomoc. Úplný analfabet. Takíto analfabeti vyhrajú zápasy, ti hovorí takíto analfabeti. Pretože proti nemu je taký istý analfabet. Proti mu je taký istý analfabet. Ti hovorím, to sú šokujúce veci. To sú všetko strašne šokujúce informácie. Čoho sme sa dožili. Analfabeti vyhrávajú, lebo proti nim sú ešte väčší analfabeti. To sú šokujúce informácie. Je to strašné. Tá Liga Retardo, to sa nechcem zapínať ten vred. To je strašný vred. To je... To je extrémny vred. Chorý vred. Čo sa týka Last Epochu, pravdepodobne sa bude zase roztačať Last Epoch. Tvrdá rázňa pravdepodobne budeme otačať. Tvrdá rázňa budeme pravdepodobne otačať. Veď hodkome tú poslednú lízalku. Hodkome posledné štosiky. Posledné makaróny. Posledné žoviály. A keď chceš posledné riťolízačky, keď chceš posledné riťolízačky, tak v podstate chceš posledné riťolízačky? No toto potrebujem povedať. No. Keď chceš posledné riťolízačky, túto zvyknú byť, ako je dobrý event Motion Jamboree, to zvyknú byť riťolízačky, 4 kúsky riťolízačov, 4 kúsky. Je to šokujúce, je to šok. Si jednoducho šok, si šokovaný. Toto bývajú riťolízačky, tuto. Vidíme ich? Riťolízač. Ale takže v podstate už je tu iba jeden. Je tu iba ten silver, ale ten silver zajtra otočíme, uvidíme čo tam bude. Pomer, choďte to prúdiť, piči sú. Roztočíte to? Alebo ste skorumpovaní jedinci? Zvládnete to roztočiť bezo mňa? Musím to nechcem moc vytačať tu. Zvládnete to roztočiť? Piči sú, je vránutý. Chorí barbari. Chorí vranači. Máme ty kalibraci. Zvládnete to roztočiť. Poďte to lápeker. Koľko vás tu je? 5? Tak povedem. 4 respektíve. Preto Liza, že spekelé náhnitel súdka. Spekelé náhnitel súdka. Čo sa týka tej ligy retardov, neviem, no. Ako priniesli, Sponolina priniesla 2-krát ovocie. Priniesla 2-krát ovocie, no. Stále je to nejasné. Nechce sa mi páni. Vylizujte to za mňa, dobre, vylizujte to. Ako sme na tom tu? To je vojenský klasický segment. Dáme si relaxačný tréningový deň. Ja som tu pekne točil. Za to otačal. Získal 512. 13. A ideme na nejakú lepšiu cenu.
And in this time, you can share in her embrace. we've prepared a silken tomb for you, woven with golden strands. Even you cannot break. Join us, traveler.
No neviem, že si spustím dneska ešte Ligu retardov. Dosť sračka. Dosť hniloba. Dosť masové nahanesený vrch. Ja tu potrebujem rozšotovať tovar. Tu mám tovar, ktorý treba rozdrtiť na pagodu. Ale moc, či jedno. Jeden iba. Taký hlávač. Jeden taký hlavný hlávač. Ja by zaujímalo v tom Last Epochu, čo som točil. To som netočil na celé obrazovke. Ukáž to, spustím to. Neexistuje. Možno je. Ja som točil na celé. No, Potom vidieť. Čo som odsypal nakoniec, aby som vedel. No to, čo som odsypal, najlepšie bolo pre mňa. Vlkov vrania. Ja. A odsypal som vrany. Jedného škorpióna. Odsypal som vrany a jedného škorpióna. Odsypal som na celú obrazovke, čo je šokujúce. Odsypal som na celú obrazovke, čo je šokujúce. Odsypal som vrany jedného škorpióna. Ja neviem, čo je dobré už, no to len. Odsypal som 3 vrany, vlka, škorpióna. Neviem, či tieto veci som zbieral. To už aj neviem, ešte doba. Ale čoľko som to odsypal na celé, ale... A mi to úplne zničia tie vrany. A chodil som gathering s tom s vánami. 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 Už aj nevieš, čo som chodil. Podľa mňa som na vrchu aj nemal tie veci. Musím sa zapamätať, ako som to mal. Máme za mnou. Tčko je telefón, no. Tu mám odsypal na celé obrazovka, ty kovany. Vány sú silné. Je zaujímavé, že som odsypal Musím si to pozrieť, ako som to odsypal. Aj, tam je to dole. Takto musím si potom robiť screenshoty, aby som vedel, ako som to točil. Mal som vlka asi na tento speed. To už musí začať znova od začiatku, to už to neviem, ale si potrebujem zapamätať tie pekery. Aj. No neviem, že som tu videl tie veci. Tu. Tak som to odsypal. Gone. Gone. Full screen. To je rány. Škorpiona a vlka. To som 3 rány, škorpiona a vlka. Mal som 3 král, škorpiona a vlka. To je za... Musím zapamätať. Zapamätať setup. Ja som zabudol. Ja som zabudol. Večnú. Som zabudol. OK. Je. Tam. Som nezinu. Som 97 level, ty kono. Silná káva. Čo je to za sáčko? Takže mám takúto malú nosnosť. No než počkám tu na Wolfmanovi. A odpadá. To sa potom pozrieť tie veci. Potom pozrieť. Pozrieme toto page overview.
Hello, travelers. I'm Judd Kobler, game director for Last Epoch and founder of 11th Hour Games. I'm excited to tell you more about the long-anticipated content coming in Season 2, called Tombs of the Erased, releasing on April 17th. For Season 2, we took more time and focused on the things that our players were telling us they'd like to see next, like expanding the in-game, more content variety, balance, and more. Season 2 is truly a massive update, and there's plenty to cover, so let's dive in. In Season 2, you are introduced to the Woven, a new in-game faction. Their followers worship the Weaver, a titan who seeks to create a new world free from the void and other imperfections. When exploring the Monolith of Fate, you'll encounter procedurally generated tombs and cemetery side zones, in which the Weaver has been experimenting with souls and memories to make her new world. The Woven seek to perfect the Weaver's design by sending the traveler to the tombs and cemeteries to cull her flawed creations. These tomb and cemetery side zones are the foundation for interacting with our new in-game systems in Season 2. Inside these zones, you'll find the Woven, who have captured souls for the Weaver and wrapped them in cocoons. Breaking these cocoons open will release the souls, which will then flee and possess nearby enemies. Possessed enemies gain new abilities and increased health and damage, and when slain drop Memory Amber, a new currency used in the Weaver faction. You'll want to collect as much Memory Amber as you can throughout the zones. Tombs and cemeteries will end with a unique boss fight that, if completed, will reward you with the ability to access the Woven Enchanter, which can enchant one of your class-specific idols. Enchanting an idol via the Woven Enchanter will add a new affix of a random tier and an amount of Weaver's Touch. Weaver's Touch is converted to randomly upgrade the affix applied and or add an additional affix to the idol that can also be upgraded if there's additional Weaver's Touch to be converted, much like the Weaver's Will mechanic. These may have up to 2 enchanted affixes total. This conversion of Weaver's Touch happens as you gain experience while having the idol equipped. The first enchantment of an idol is free. Re-enchanting the same idol costs Memory Amber each time and re-rolls a new enchantment affix, replacing the previous affixes. To keep non-class idols competitive, we've added new idol subtypes with more powerful modifiers as well. Completing a cemetery, the larger of the 2 types of side zones, will also give access to an altar of the Weaver. Altars are used to place the Weaver's constructed realities into the Echo Web, which take form as and are called Woven Echoes. Woven echoes are a new special itemized type of echoes, glimpses into the Weaver's new world that introduce a lot of exciting new content and rewards to Last Epoch's endgame. These drop from enemies within tombs and cemeteries and can be purchased from the Woven faction NPC, Mask. Woven Echoes will provide new challenges and objectives, such as access to brand new bosses like the Drow Queen and Onyxoros the Antipode Dragon, or enhanced versions of existing bosses like Majasa with new abilities, and even an Uber version of the pinnacle boss Aberoth introduced in Season 1. But beware, defeating Uber Aberoth is only accomplishable by the most skilled players and powerful characters in Eterra. There are many powerful rewards tied to Woven Echoes, such as unique forges giving you special ways to craft items not found anywhere else in the game, access to new unique items only found by defeating these bosses, and even ways to accelerate in-game progression for alt characters by bringing a timeline's corruption up to match the corruption of another character's timeline. We'll go over some Woven Echoes momentarily. So far, there are 37 different types of Woven Echoes being introduced with Season 2 and more to come. Once you've found and completed your first cemetery, you'll catch the attention of Mask, the Weaver's High Priest, who will bring you to the Haven of Silk to tell you more about the Woven and then invite you to join them. Joining and gaining rank with the Woven will allow you to unlock more Woven Echoes and give you access and points to spend in the new Weaver's Tree. The Weaver's Tree allows you to influence the encounters and rewards in the Monolith of Fate, providing more agency over your in-game experience. Some options include having a chance for Arena Echoes to be replaced with Super Arena Echoes, which contain champion enemies, or having items with Weaver's Will be rolled twice and keeping the higher value of the two, or sometimes letting a Shade of Orbis ambush you in your Echoes for additional drops and challenge.
Oh.
Some key nodes allow items and Woven Echoes to be imprinted into the tree, yielding different effects. Like imprinting a Woven Echo, giving it a chance to spawn in your Echo Web without placing it via the altar of the Weaver in cemeteries. Or imprint an item to make it so that an item of the same type and rarity is granted as an additional reward when completing Echoes. Or imprint an item and there will be a chance for enemies in regular Echoes to drop a pile of items similar to the imprinted one. There are many fun and exciting options in the Weaver's Tree that allow you to shape your end-game experience and loot hunt. We can't wait to hear your feedback. Now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about a bit more of the interesting itemization and crafting options coming with Season 2, largely enabled via these Woven Echoes. In Season 2, we're introducing set item crafting, which can be accessed via the Great Bridge Woven Echo. Shattering a set item grants you 1 to 4 set affix shards you can then use to craft your own reforged set items. Each set item is associated with one specific shard unique to that set item that when crafted onto an item makes it act as that set item. This means that you can craft your own reforged set items that count for the set's bonuses, and you can mix and match these by using the original set items together with the reforged set items. You can craft these onto different item subtypes. Only one type of set affix shard can be applied to any individual item, and this item cannot be used in legendary crafting via the Eternity Cache. We're also adding the ability to re-roll the legendary potential of uniques via the Farsight Turtle Woven Echo. The unique must have at least one legendary potential. Re-rolling the legendary potential possesses quite a significant risk, as if the legendary potential fails to go up, it will instead go down all the way to 0. This is a worthy risk, as many times to get an upgrade, you need to have more than one legendary potential. And even in the case that it ends up going down to 0, you can then attempt to upgrade it again via the Nemesis Egg, providing multiple new chances to turn an item that might not be an upgrade into an upgrade. In the Orden's Watch Woven Echo, you can replace attributes, strength, dexterity, attunement, or intelligence, with another, as long as the affix isn't sealed. This costs 1 forging potential from the item. The tier and roll range of the replaced affix will be preserved for the new affix. In the Gauntlet of Strife Woven Echo, you'll be challenged by a sequence of boss encounters, and by completing, you'll be rewarded with access to the Sacrificial Altar, which can be used to sacrifice a unique, legendary, Weaver's Will item or set item to re-roll the mod and implicit values of a matching item. The item being sacrificed needs to have equal or greater legendary potential or Weaver's Will. Rune of Research and Glyph of Insight have been removed, and replaced by the thaumaturgy device at the end of the Rune Prison Complex Woven Echo, where you can replace a prefix with an experimental affix on boots, gloves, or a belt. This makes the process of crafting experimental affixes much simpler. The exiled mages you encounter will have a chance to drop this Woven Echo. We're also adding some brand new crafting materials, such as Rune of Weaving, which speeds up your Weaver's Will and Weaver's Touch item conversions. Using a Rune of Weaving will convert some Weaver's Will or Touch to add additional affixes or affix tiers, like you would gain by slaying enemies with the item equipped. Rune of Havoc, which shuffles the tiers of affixes of an exalted item. Sealed affixes are unaffected by this action. For example, you could potentially use the Rune of Havoc to change Tier 1 Strength to Tier 7 on an item that had a different affix at Tier 7 previously. Rune of Redemption, which rerolls exalted affixes to other affixes, preserving tier and roll range. Again, sealed affixes are unaffected. Another crafting update we believe you guys will be excited about is when using the Eternity Cache in Temporal Sanctum, Tier 2 or above, you may now select one affix that is guaranteed to be applied to the legendary that you're about to create. Season 2 brings an additional challenge for players with newly introduced champion enemies that spawn in the campaign, monolith, and dungeon. Champions are powerful versions of enemies with additional and altered abilities that spawn with 3 additional random modifiers, including 1 champion mod. They drop extra loot when killed and even have a small chance to drop much rarer loot, like a pile of unique items. Champions also always drop an item with a sealed champion affix that depends on the champion's mod. For example, a Volcano champion will always drop a belt with a Volcano champion's affix. These mods have unique affixes rarely seen elsewhere and can be very powerful when used with the correct builds. We've made many updates to both the monolith and dungeons. Monoliths have new objectives, like slaying enemies until a cocooned item drops, which is a unique item that has a higher chance to have legendary potential when identified, or the need to seal deadly void rifts that had begun appearing in the echoes. You can now reach empowered monoliths on alts much more quickly, as we've made characters in the same environment share Monolith of Fate timeline unlocks. We've improved arenas by having enemy waves spawn more quickly, and increased enemies' movement speed so that they don't take as long to reach you. And we've updated Echo Spire objectives, so that the spires are guarded by a mini-boss and only attack you once you've engaged the Guardian. This means that they will no longer shoot at you from all the way across the map. For dungeons, we're introducing Dungeon Charms, which can modify a dungeon run. We're introducing 2 charms with this patch, one of which is called a Portal Charm that can be used to immediately portal to the boss of a dungeon and gain a random assortment of mods that you would have gained along the way. We've also added the Black Market Key Trader to Majelka's Upper District in the Divine Era, where you can exchange any 3 dungeon keys for a Portal Charm. In dungeons, you can now use a key to respawn either on the floor you've gotten to or at the boss, instead of needing to repeat the entire dungeon. Please, don't test this as a hardcore character. It will not save you. In Season 2, the Sentinel class is receiving a ton of updates, from small adjustments to skills to fully reworking others. Paladin and Void Knight are receiving major overhauls to their mastery passive trees, and Forge Guard is receiving some additions, like a passive allowing them to wield a 2-handed weapon and a shield at the same time. Volatile Reversal has been completely reworked, including a brand new skill tree. By default, it is now a combo traversal skill, where the first use of the skill sends you forward in time to a location to strike enemies in an area, while the second use sends you back in time to your original location, once again striking enemies in that area. You can build for melee or spell damage, and the tree offers some great interaction with other skills like Devouring Orb. We've renamed Sigils of Hope to Symbols of Hope to free up the term for the planned skill sigil system coming later, and have updated its functionality. Symbols of Hope now automatically generate symbols for you, meaning no spending mana or stopping to cast it. Actively using the ability now consumes the symbols to grant ward and temporary damage reduction. Devouring Orb at a baseline now also deals void damage over time in an area around it, and these damaging areas can stack. Its skill tree has been updated with cool new possibilities, including a node that instantly casts for you whenever you move. No more numlock needed, and no more getting interrupted every time it casts. Most Sentinel skills received a variety of small to moderate updates to improve their power and offer additional build options. Examples include Multi-Strike that has been given more support to deal single target damage, while allowing additional swords to hit the same target. Vengeance has been updated to include conversions to both Fire and Void. Rive can now be converted to Void. Javelin's Divine Fury and Siege Barrage nodes now work together. Hammer Throw has received buffs to non-spiraling nodes. Shield Throw no longer has a cooldown at base and has a node to allow it to bounce from the player. And Time Rot is now a viable, distinctly unique damaging ailment for Void Knights. We're also very excited to bring a new skill to Marksman, Heartseeker. Heartseeker shoots a single target arrow that seeks a nearby targeted enemy and has a chance to recurve, meaning it pierces and comes back to hit the target again. When building for Heartseeker, you'll likely want to increase the recurve chance, allowing it to pierce and hit the same enemy many times. If the target is destroyed, and Heartseeker would have recurved, it will instead seek another nearby target. Heartseeker's skill tree gives options to be converted to fire and cold, has lots of support for poison and bleed, can be used as utility to generate mana and different shrouds, and even to provide global buffs granting added throwing and spell damage. You can also remove the base functionality where Heartseeker seeks a new target after slaying the first, and instead turn those leftover recurves into puncture skill procs that fire towards nearby enemies. Heartseeker requires 30 points in the marksman tree, and Hail of Arrows has been moved to a 35-point skill unlock slot. Season 2 is bringing quite a lot of balance changes. Health builds are generally more effective as there is much more access to health modifiers across the game. Health affixes and health regeneration have been buffed, and health granted per level has been increased. Ward builds are still powerful, but outliers allowing for massive ward generation have been much more access to health mod slot. Season 2 is bringing quite a lot of balance changes. Health builds are generally more effective as there is much more access to health modifiers across the game. Health affixes and health regeneration have been buffed, and health granted per level has been increased. Ward builds are still powerful, but outliers allowing for massive ward generation have been rebalanced. In general, many skills have received buffs, as our goal is to make many more builds viable for in-game content, and previous meta builds that were overperforming have been brought in line. Skills such as Black Hole, Elemental Nova, Tornado, Flurry, and Shurikens have had their damage effectiveness increased. We expect there to be a lot of new builds that players are excited to try out in Season 2. Idle enchantments and new non-class specific Weaver idols will also raise the power level floor for all builds. Many unique items have received a pass to help make them more useful. For example, Eye of Reen can once again be used with Warpath and other skills which hit with indirect attacks. Boulder's Wrath can proc Earthquake twice as much as before, and Stormbreaker can now gain Storm stacks instead of a small chance to cast Lightning Strike. We've also applied some quality of life updates to multiple skills, like Warcry's Berserk lasting 50% longer. Dreadshade no longer has a duration. You can hold 3 black arrows from Darkquiver at once. And we've increased the amount of shortcutting you can do with movement skills by increasing the distance you can travel with them over gaps. Loot lizards will spawn a bit less baseline in Season 2, but there will be more scenarios where you'll be excited to find them, and you can also increase their spawn rate via the Weaver tree. In Season 2, we're introducing 25 new unique items. This includes 8 new Weaver's Will uniques and 4 early backer uniques. About half of these are tied to new tombs, cemeteries, and woven echo bosses, while the other half expand on the overarching drop pool. And there are plenty of additional improvements coming with Season 2 to be excited about. You can now respec your mastery for gold in the End of Time. The cost for specializing your mastery is a lot cheaper in the lower to mid levels, so it's easier to experiment, but it increases as your character level goes up. We're introducing a beta version of WASD movement. You can access this via the settings gameplay menu. We'll be monitoring player feedback on this implementation, and we're excited to hear your feedback. We have updated the inventory to have tabs to separate out keys and the new woven echoes. And we've also introduced automatic storing as an option that will be on by default, so that when you pick up crafting items like shards, they will immediately go to your crafting materials panel. Both of these updates make inventory management much nicer, and needing to be dealt with much less frequently. For Gamepad, we have completely reworked skill targeting, which improves every single skill and skill mutation, making targeting and using abilities more intuitive and responsive. We can also now make updates to individual skills targeting much more easily, so we'll be looking for your feedback and improving these even further. There are a ton of additional updates and fixes in Season 2, and we invite you to read the full patch notes on our forum. Along with all these incredible updates coming in Season 2, we're excited to announce a new batch of supporter packs known as the Woven series. Each of these 4 supporter packs offers new and unique ways to customize your appearance, and the team has picked up some pretty amazing offerings. Starting with the Woven Traveler pack. We really wanted our entry-level pack to have some pretty awesome stuff, and what better way to travel through Atera than with your own capybara pet? That's right, it wasn't an April Fool's joke after all. You will also score 2 new weapon cosmetics, a backslot cosmetic, and all new color arrangements for your evade skill. That's right, with Season 2, we've implemented skill cosmetics, and you'll find many more in the in-game store. The Woven Templar is the next tier in the Woven series and brings some serious heat. To start, you get all of the cosmetics from the Woven Traveler, and then, to kick off the Templar pack, we start with a full cosmetic armor set, known as the Bronze Scale Plate. But the fire doesn't stop there. You're also getting Yoshok's Destroyer, a massive 2-handed hammer cosmetic, a new portal skin, another fiery evade cosmetic, and a first look at the fire footprint cosmetic, and an additional 100 epoch points to use in the in-game cosmetic shop. Up next, and second tier in the Woven series, is the Woven Vanquisher Supporter Pack, and this pack is charged and ready. As with the previous tiers, the Woven Vanquisher Supporter Pack also includes all cosmetic items from the Woven Templar and Woven Traveler packs. Kicking off the Woven Vanquishers pack, players will harness the power of the Storm with the Thunderfang cosmetic armor set. You'll also receive the Tempest Gate Portal, Storm Drake Wings back attachment, Storm Dragon Staff, Storm Walker Evade effect, and Lightning Footprints. And finally, if you're looking to get everything the Woven series of supporter packs has to offer, then the top tier Woven Legends supporter pack is the one for you. Harnessing the visual prowess of the Weaver herself, don the Shrouded Woven Disciple cosmetic armor set. Be sure to bring along your faithful companion, the Thread Strider pet. You will also receive 4 unique evade cosmetics and the Weaver Footprints visual effect. The Woven Legends supporter pack also includes all of the cosmetic offerings from the Woven Vanquisher, Woven Templar, and Woven Traveler supporter packs. This really is the Get Everything pack. We're also adding many more items you can purchase with epoch points in the store, including those awesome new skill cosmetic effects. We sincerely appreciate your support and hope you enjoy Last Epoch Season 2. Thank you for your patience, as this one took a bit longer to get out, but we hope that the wait was worth it, and we'll aim to be delivering seasonal patches more quickly going forward. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in Atera for the launch of Tombs of the Erased on April 17th.
The wise one draws near. You wait our signal. Quickly, children, return to me upon the museum's rooftop. We must invite him to us to show him our love and our gratitude. Dance, sing, shout, expel bile from your gut, show emotion, show anything. You hear us, wise one? Come unto us. That expansion you feel in your mind, that growing sense of wisdom and foresight. Why not that? You have accepted our invitation. Insects before your intellect. Come, children, allow the wise one to gaze upon you. Bask. Bask in his infinite wisdom.
Potom vidieť, ako som to mal nastavené. To znamená, potom znova spustiť. s tým na tom pár. To znamená, to je ako Liga retardov. Potom zistím, ako som to mal nastavené tam. Potom vidieť, ako som to mal.
Used to say I'd try anything once.
No toto, ha? Tak to som mal vlka, tak to som mal túto sáčku, takže nakoniec sme išli na Armor Shed. S tvormi som mal túto.
I did. Used to say I'd try anything once.
Koľko mám vlastne síly, kde to vidím? Tu som išiel jedného tučného škorpióna. A škorpión má byť malé baby škorpióny, ja som išiel baby škorpiónom. Obviously, no. Ja som išiel malé baby škorpióny, fakt. Takže ja som išiel vlka, baby škorpióny a 3 vrány. 2. Tu som mal 90 bodov takto. To som skončil tu. Primalista som išiel takto. Primalista som išiel poďalto. Byl Chaman. Šamana sa mi neoplatilo chodiť, alebo to je nejaká novinka? O to predtým nebolo. To je otázka. Čo som tu používal? Increasnuté healthy a život. Increasnutý život. Health regenerácia. V podstate iba armor, rezistencia, regenerácie, vitality nejaké. Right. Right. No. To sa mi neoplatilo chodiť, očividne, ani toto. Ani tieto brány. Že Beastmastery som mal 90. Right. Takto som mal tu body, takto som mal tu body. A používal som, vlci boli takto rozdelení. Gathering Stone bol takto. Petelica Fury bola takto. Vány sa mi osvedčili, no oni boli tučné. Oni dávali aj šok šancov. Dávali aj šok šancov. Prečo ne? A som išiel Baby Škorpiónom. To Baby Škorpiónom. S attack speedom a s movement speedom. Baby Scorpion Poison Chance. Scorpion more damage. Takže takto som to išiel, dobre. No Attack speed, lightning penetrácia. Spell damage for free, melee damage. Melee damage per strength. No dole. Takže máme to zaznamenané, v podstate je to v tejto brožúrke, ako sme potrebovali, je to v tejto brožúrke. Je to tu zaznamenané v 13.4. nočnom segmente. Prečo to ukazuje tak málo? Sectori, neve gialta, per quello dopo sectori. Kamera je nejako zle posunutá, ty kona. Na ligu retardov. Tá kamera je nejako zle posunutá na ligu retardov. Aby znova vylízané. Som dostal nejaké drobné. Sectori. Veď boli na auto a na sectori. A Ligu retardov je zle posunutá kamera, ale to kádeť. Kádeť Ligu retardov. To je miloba sprostá. Nezvláda ten Peaches. Padajú mu styly. Ja pôjdem predávať na búrevky. Export búrevky. Padajú mu styly toho Peachesovi. Padajú mu styly toho Peachesovi. Padajú mu styly toho Peachesovi. Vôbec nezvláda ten tabak točiť. Vôbec nezvláda ten tabak točiť. To by skôr zaujímalo. Prečo to ukazuje 18,3 mega? To nebude ani tu field styl. Čo je zvrhlý? Zvrhlý jedinec? Zvrhlý jedinec? Naozaj mi chceš povedať, že je zvrhlý? Zvrhlý jedinec? Neviem, či chcem ešte točiť nejakého nuláka v Lige retardov. Sa môže výrazne obrátiť proti mne a to skúrená Liga retardov. Chorá bačkoracká sračka. Mám či to chcem roztačať. Chceme roztačať skúrvenú chorú Ligu retardov? Ty chorých bastardov? To je tá kľúčová otázka. Chceme to roztačať? To je do pičus. Dostal petali za čachurec.
Hello, on April 7th, around 11 p.m. Eastern Time, my account was banned. Grinding Gear Games, the makers of Path of Exile 1 and 2, also known as GGG, also banned 300 other accounts along with mine for abusing an item exploit. I do not know what that means, since we use the item in its intended way, with no bugs, cheats, or third-party software. As of posting this video, GGG has had no personal contact with me, their support team would answer none of my questions, and continually repeated for me to put in a ban appeal. I did do that, and my ban appeal has been pending for over 24 hours. This video goes over the events that led up to my ban, and why the ban is just GGG's overreaction to their embarrassing game design, and they have no real reason behind why players should have been banned. So the story of the ban begins with me staring at my phone at 3 a.m. after playing Path of Exile 2 for about 12 hours that day. I was on my phone looking at the new uniques that were added to the game in the newest Dawn of the Hunt patch to see if there was anything interesting that I could use in my build. As I was scrolling, I came across this unique tablet that has a description that would make any Path of Exile player drop their jaw in amazement at what it does. First, I do need to give a little education on Path of Exile mechanics so you can understand what GGG consciously put into their game. Tablets like the one I found are items that you can put into towers to modify the maps that are around the tower and enhance the mechanics that are in those maps and how you farm them. The mechanic this tablet deals with is the Ritual League mechanic, where in your maps you kill enemies in a circle, and these enemies give you points that you can spend on loot in a menu. Besides buying items in this menu, there are two other things you can do. The first thing is, if an item is too expensive to buy, you can defer it. Deferring the item costs a small percent of the cost of the item, and it will make it so it appears in future maps at a discount, so you can either afford to buy it or defer it again. The second thing you can do is re-rolling, and this is what this unique tablet that I found affects, and is the center of the ban. Re-rolling is what it sounds like, where you can pay some of the points that you got from killing enemies to re-roll the loots in the menu if you didn't find anything that you wanted. Re-rolling also has a limit of how many times you can do it, regardless of how many points you have to spend. By default, you can re-roll only twice, but there are ways to modify this in Path of Exile, with the high end being around 10 re-rolls in the recent Path of Exile 1 Pharesia event league. So what this unique tablet does is completely take the limiter off and lets you re-roll as much as you want, and the only thing that's limiting you is the amount of points you earn from the enemies. Upon seeing this tablet, I immediately thought of these other tablets that let you reduce the cost of re-rolling, and so would every other Path of Exile player who put any thought or care into farming Ritual in Path of Exile 2. These tablets have existed since the beginning of the game, and you have always been able to make the cost of re-rolling 0. So clearly, you're supposed to pair these together and re-roll until you find extremely rare items, right? Well, if you thought yes, well, GG gamer, you're now banned. Now, of course, I realized how awesome this would be, so I decided to not go to bed and set up this farming strategy with these tablets to see if this was really possible, since it sounds too good to be true. Now, since I know how to play the game and understand basic math, not only did I set up the farm to make re-rolling free, but there are also tablets that make deferring have reduced cost also. So along with making your re-rolling cost 0, I made deferring cost 0. So let's say I get 2,000 points from killing enemies in the ritual circles in a map. When I open the loot menu, I could infinitely re-roll for free until I found a high value item, and then defer that item for absolutely free, so it would stay in my menus and become cheaper and cheaper every time I deferred it, and I would still have my 2,000 points. The only thing that is limiting the farm then is the deferral limit. After you deferred about 50 items, you couldn't defer more, so you were forced to make room by buying one of the items that you deferred at an extremely low price ranging from 1 to 150 points, since it won't let you make an item cost 0. Generally speaking, you could buy 25 extremely rare items per 1,000 points that you earned in a map. This farm took me 3 hours to set up, and I was enthralled with how perfect it worked. Once I found out it worked, I immediately made a video on it, because that is what I do. My channel is me explaining and showing off the cool and unique things that I do in Path of Exile. These tablets and atlas points that I use to make this farming strategy work exactly how they say they do, so I felt safe posting this video. Was I aware that the farm was maybe the most profitable farm to ever exist in Path of Exile? Yes, I did. That is only temporary though. With any farming strategy in Path of Exile, when it is discovered and becomes popular, the loot you get from the farm sells for cheaper, and the cost of the items to make that farm work, such as the tablets, goes up and gets more expensive. Supply and demand would have absolutely shifted the profitability of this farm if it stayed in the game. After the video, did I continue to use this strategy? Absolutely. I stayed up till about 11 a.m. clicking reroll, and I took a 4-hour nap, woke up, clicked reroll for a few more hours until GGG disabled the farm around 5 p.m. Then, around 11 p.m., they released their first statement and banned me and around 300 other people with no more explanation. Then, 20 hours later, they released another statement with a bit more information. This ban is an account ban. When you are account banned, you are unable to log into Path of Exile 2 or Path of Exile 1. This means you don't have access to your stash tabs, which are bought with real money, and are required to play the game correctly. This means if you want to play Path of Exile, you are permitted to make another account and play on that, but you would have to re-buy the stash tabs, and if you want to play Path of Exile 2, you have to pay the $30 GGG wants from you to beta test their game for them. So essentially, an account ban can be looked at as deleting your money or putting you on timeout if they decide to unban your account. Which, in their second statement, they did say this ban was only the length of a league. Sadly, no one knows the length of a league anymore, with Path of Exiles 1 league now sitting at over 8 months long. Am I banned from both games till the new Path of Exile 2 league or the new Path of Exile 1 league? Who knows? I asked their support and they were no help at all, and my ban appeal is still pending, as I said in the intro. Also, when you are account banned, you lose access to all the time and thought you put into your characters, because you don't have access to them. This doesn't matter much to me since I hold my achievements in my head and on my YouTube channel, nor do I have any functional characters in Standard. For the others who got banned, this may cut very deep for them and could be worse than losing money. Okay, so that was all the events of the ban and catches you up on everything. The rest of the video is my thoughts to why I did what GGG and so many others in the community are condemning and why they are wrong for banning players in this situation. The backlash of this ritual farm should be aimed at GGG and not their players. GGG should be apologizing for putting in such an obviously broken item if they think the outcome was so awful. Okay, so why did I use this farm that was so obviously strong? Well, not only did I want to get the currency and time back that I spent on seeing if this idea worked, I wanted to set myself up for the league. The videos I make on my channel are builds I find interesting and are usually off meta, but I still try to make them as strong as possible. This usually means that I spend a lot of currency to make builds that will not make a lot of currency. This cycle is painful, so it was my goal this league to make the strongest league starter that I could and farm as hard as I could to make more builds and videos since this is what I love doing and this is my job. Of course, I farmed the fuck out of this strategy I discovered. I'd say the value of everything I farmed was about 300 to 400 divines. I liquidated about 80 divines worth and left the rest of my stash to either use or sell, depending on how GGG decided to handle the farm. I could have made more or less than my estimate. So why do I think that getting banned, even though I made so much currency, is absurd? Well, the most obvious and simple reason that many people on the internet understand and agree with is that there was no bug or unintended mechanic used. It's clear as day what these tablets do and say. The reduced deferring and rerolling cost tablets have always been in the game, and the new unique tablet that enables this whole thing does exactly what it says, and the wording of it clearly is inviting you to do infinite rerolls. Path of Exile is a game of finding items and combining them with other items to make unintended and interesting outcomes. What I did here was not that. This was simple and obvious to anyone who has played the game. It's truly embarrassing that they ever added that unique tablet in the first place. Whoever designed the tablet and whoever approved it does not understand Path of Exile's endgame at a basic level in either patch 0.1 or patch 0.2. This farm would have been possible even with half the amount of tablets I used, since there's an Atlas passive notable that doubles the effect of tablets on 20% of your maps. The only benefit of the doubt that I can give is that at some point in development, they were going to go with a different endgame, but swapped back to the tower system and forgot to remove this clearly broken unique tablet. Even then, it is a major mistake on their part, and they have yet to claim it as so, and instead banned players for playing the game correctly. Now, I want to talk about the grounds that I was banned on. In GGG's public posts, they say we were banned for exploiting. I'm so tired of seeing that word being used to describe a reason for banning someone. People clearly just make up a definition in their head of what exploiting means and assign it to random things that they don't like. If GGG really bans people for what exploiting actually means, no one would be left playing the game. A major example I can think of is from last league, where people were using Temporalis, Blink, and Cast on Dodge to make single-button builds that would infinitely teleport you around and cast spells at uncontrollable speeds. There was also monk builds that stacked attack speed, so they could hold down attack and go faster than any amount of movement speed that you could actually reasonably put on a build. And then they combo that with Herald skills, completely annihilating screens of enemies. These builds obliterated maps and farmed currency faster than almost any other build by a large margin. Clearly, those builds would fit the same definition of exploiting that these people seem to make up in their heads. Those builds were obviously not intended design of the game, since their mechanics were changed and nerfed in patch 0.2. Those builds were so polarizing that they skyrocketed the price of everything and made most things unaffordable unless you farmed with those builds. So why are people who use them not banned for exploiting the game? A farming strategy is the same as a build. You use items along with your passive trees to create your own outcome. There are tons of other things in the game that you can exploit, such as logging out of the game to avoid dying. GGG needs to come up with a real reason for banning people at the very least, and not just ban on the grounds of a buzzword, such as exploit. Also, the line that GGG drew in calling this an exploit in their second statement was that we reduce the cost to defer items along with having infinite rerolls, which means using the unique tablet and the reduced reroll tablets. So was it okay to have only infinite rerolls and then look for the most valuable of the valuable items? Because that would have been possible with one single tower and required no tower overlap. Okay, so to prove that you could get infinite rerolls with one tower, right here is what you would do. This is the tower tablet insert menu. You can now insert 3 tablets into each tower. And so you would use this unique tablet that gave you infinite rerolls. And then you would use the 2 reduced cost of rerolling tablets that we've been talking about. You do have to make sure that it was 15% because it ranges from 10 to 15%. You had to get 15%. And then what you would do on your Atlas passive skill tree is take these nodes here that increase the effect of the modifiers on your tablets. And so there's 4 nodes of 8%, which is 32%. So for each tablet, it would be the 15% reduced cost of rerolling times 1.32 is 19.8. And in Path of Exile, you always round down, so you would get 19%. And then we have 2 tablets, so that is 38% reduced cost of rerolling. And then this node here gives a 20% chance for double effect of precursor tablets on your maps. So that means in 1 in 5 maps, you would just blast the maps until you got this to proc, you would have 76% reduced cost of rerolling. So where do you get the last 24% to make it 100% reduced? This node right here, you run 1 boss fight, the Ritual Pinnacle boss. You take this, and now you have 100% reduced cost of rerolling on 1 in 5 maps, and you just search for whatever item you want. And some people might say that this isn't a good strategy because you wouldn't be able to afford the items since you won't get a lot of points on your maps. Well, you just don't suck at the game. You take increased pack size, more monsters, stuff like that. You roll pack size on your maps, and then you can just get someone to run boss fights for you in softcore. That's not an exploit, not bannable for some reason. You're forcing your own progression, so I would feel like that's like an exploit. But here you just take, like, you run the boss fights to get more of these points and enhance the rituals. And so you would take this, so there's always 4 ritual altars or 4 circles in the map where you kill enemies to accumulate points, or tribute, it's called. And then you take this, which actually not a lot of videos would tell you to take this node, but I've been doing this for 4 months now. This node's very good because in Path of Exile 2, monsters don't actually spawn inside the maps, and the maps are so giant that the monsters, when they do spawn, actually never spawn inside the ritual circle. So this node here forces monsters to spawn inside your ritual and gives you a ton of points and is modified by your pack size. So that's like kind of an exploit since the game's not designed to spawn monsters in maps. And then you take this here where you get 50% deferral, reduced cost. So I'm speaking like an idiot. But yeah, you just don't have to afford to buy these items. You just defer them, and it's going to be 50% off. You're going to get a ton of points, and you could just do this. Like 3 days into the league, did they want players to sit there and reroll for hours and hours and hours until they found the one item they were looking for, and that was okay with them? Also, how much deferral reduction was okay? Was the problem hitting 100% deferral reduction? Was it okay at just 99%, or was 50% okay? Since there's a notable Atlas passive that gives you 50% deferral reduction. So the only thing I can take away from this is as long as you were bad at the game and ran a suboptimal farming strategy, you might have made a great profit still, but you're not an exploiter by GGG's definition, and you get to keep your account. Congrats on not crossing that imaginary line. Next, how was I supposed to know that this was something that would be bannable? From as far as I can tell, GGG never put out a statement telling people to stop. And as the person who made the video on the strategy, I never even got a message from GGG telling me it was wrong or to take down the video. Next, I just assumed that this unique tablet was a specific design decision, especially since they put such an emphasis on patch 0.2 improving endgame. Obviously, sitting there and clicking reroll is ridiculous, boring, and bad design, but does that mean I should have known that it was bannable? Path of Exile 2 needs a lot of work, and what the devs want and not want has been very unclear for the last 4 months. Next, did I submit a bug report? No, it wasn't a bug. Everything I used to make the farm did exactly what it said it did, which is actually uncommon in Path of Exile 2's early access. Also, saying everything worked correctly in the farm isn't entirely true. The unique tablet didn't work exactly how it said it did. Not the infinite re-rolling line of text, that worked perfectly fine. It's the part that no one cared about, where favors have increased tribute cost. Favors are the loot you buy, and tribute is the points you buy with and get from killing enemies in the ritual circle. Increasing the cost of the favors with this unique tablet shouldn't increase the amount of deferral reduction you need to make the deferral cost 0, since deferral is a percent of the cost of the item, so 100% deferral reduction should always make the deferral cost 0, regardless of how much this unique tablet increased the cost of the item. That's not how it worked though. You can see here that in my original video on the strategy, I had 106% deferral reduction, but it cost me some tribute to defer the item. After I fixed the strategy and added more deferral reduction, probably around like 125%, the favors cost 0 to defer. That was really not important to tell you, and I definitely just made a few head spin, but I wanted to show that things not working the way they say they do is pretty common in Path of Exile 2. What I and the other 300 players were banned for was not taking advantage of something like this. What we did was a very obvious and clear design that worked as it said it should, and was handed to us on a silver platter with no bugs on it. Moving on to maybe the most annoying thing that I have to talk about is people who spout out that us who were banned were affecting the economy, and that's why we should be banned. Affecting the economy is just another buzzword phrase people seem to just throw around. Also, in GGG's post on the bans, they talked about it having a small economic impact. Yes, every strong farming strategy and every strong build affects the economy in Path of Exile. That doesn't mean they should get to pick and choose who they ban just based on nothing. They simply could have just cleaned out the currency from us players, and if that's all they cared about, and not banned us for their blatantly obvious mistake. When talking about the economy, I'm assuming that they're talking about the major currencies that are in rituals. Those are divines and mirrors. I farmed maybe 30 raw divines over the many hours and thousands of rerolls. I never found a mirror the entire time. I joked about trying to find one in my YouTube video, but eventually, after thousands of rerolls, I just started to assume that GGG took them out of the ritual because of this unique tablet. Also, I thought they designed the game around the items they put into it. This ended up not being the case, and I learned after the strategy was nerfed that there were streamers who found a mirror or two using this strategy. There are also some other items in rituals that are worth deferring and taking. These are called omens, and they have varying rarity and prices. These items are not used as normal currency like divines and mirrors are for trade. They are used to craft powerful in-game items. I was hoping that all the omens that were being farmed would increase the supply so much that it would make crafting more available to myself and other players, since some of these omens are designed to be so rare that they're only available to the top 0.1% of players. These players, or groups of players, use these omens in massive quantities to create perfect gear called mirror items. I'm not exactly sure what the point is that I'm trying to get to here, because I don't understand what other people are trying to say when they talk about the economic impact. Maybe this farming strategy would have caused some inflation, but also maybe this strategy would have given endgame crafting to more people in softcore. GGG could have just removed the divines and mirrors from the rituals instead of changing the tablet and banning players. And what would the economic outcome have been then? There's so many ifs, ands, or buts to this whole situation that banning the players so certainly and taking no responsibility is crazy to me. There is one last thing I have to touch on, and that is my Path of Exile account page has my reason for ban listed as breaching terms of use. I'm pretty sure that this was a ban first and ask questions later type of thing, so this is probably just a placeholder, but because support won't answer any of my questions and my ban appeal has yet to be answered, I'm not sure. And what I found is that Path of Exile's terms of use is the worst terms of use I have ever seen for a game when describing unwanted bannable behavior in their game. Even Ark Survival Evolved and Ark Survival Ascended have better descriptions of what you aren't allowed to do in their game. From what I could find in the terms of use, there was no definition of exploit or economic abuse or anything that could describe why I was actually banned. I'm not saying that there isn't a reason in there, but there's nothing obvious that I could find. In conclusion, GGG has illogically banned 301 people who paid to beta test their game for them. They did this to deflect blame from themselves over their own horrible game design. These players abused no bugs, no cheats, and no third-party software. They simply used the items that they were given to them in true Path of Exile spirit, the game of spreadsheets, math, and optimization.
Retardovaní kokoti, zapínate Path of Exile 2. Zaslúžite si ban iba za to. Ideme na prípadnú Štolverkovi, našemu Gargamerovi. Najmä asi ukončíme tú ligu retardov. Asi dneska to už nebudeme siliť. Ideme točiť ďalšieho mulaka, je dosť grady, dosť grady. Nechcel sa napiť tam naša balíčkovka. Odmietol si dať Gogoša. Tvrdé hrazí odmietol dať Gogoša. Ako neviem, aby som za... Aj neviem zapínať League Retardu. Víte, že sme síce skromný počet nulákov. Boli to iba 2 nuláky dneska. 2 šlofiky, 1 výhra na sračku a 2 nuláky. Takže v podstate môžem podať asi 5 zápasov. Z toho 3 sme vyhrali, ale 2 boli nuláky. No to je nápad, keď natočíš dostatočný počet nulákov. Dostatočný počet držgršek. Je to nápad. No. Máš dostatočný počet držgršek. Máš dostatočný počet držgršek. My že otočíme hentú bačkorácku vec, ktorá si hovorí trón náhnitý. Náhnitý trón trošku. Je to krytá kúka. Krytá kúka je solidná vecečka. Trochu to otáčam bačkory, ale mal by som moc otáčať. Mal by som otáčať. Nemal by som otáčať. Mal by som otáčať. Ani Ligu Retardu by som mohol otáčať. Ani Ligu Retardu by som nemal otáčať. Ani náhnitý trón by som nemal otáčať. Obidve tieto veci sú chore veci. Chore veci z chorého súdka. Strašne namočené chore šťavy. No, strašne namočené chore šťavy. Až chore šťava.
Feel you, let it soak into your throats. Let it show you the truth.
My favorite customer! Leave your stuff, don't hurt yourself!
For the heretic dim ones will be enraged by this vision.
Všetko chore šťavy. Chorá Liga Retardov. Chorí neandertálci. Tam sa grupujú všetko, iba neokrochanní bastardi. To je ten problém, ktorý tu je. Keď som naposledy točil ten Last Epoch. Kde to je? Určite som to napísal. Je Last Epoch. Naposledy som ho otočil. 6.3. som vytačal Last Epoch. Je to napísané Last Epoch. Točil som ho. No, otočil som ho. To som ho ešte otočil, ale s Sabertoothom. A nakoniec som prešiel Sabertoofa. To som mal Sabertoofa, a tam som potom prešiel na Škorpiona.
Our demons are headed toward the waterside pile, children. You must protect it.
Som odsypal Sabertooth.
These unwavering fools attack from all sides. Leave no pyre undaunted. Leave no heretic left standing.
Znamená, že som prečal, ten posledný som skúšal, čo sa tam dá vylizovať, no. Bolo to solidné, bolo to tvrdé. Ako vás nebude dobrá vecička, to zase rozprudíme. To sa bude otačovať. To sa bude tvrdo otačovať, last epoch, tvrdo. Tvrdo to otočíme. Otočili sme to v marci, naposledy podľa všetkých informácií. Podľa toho, čo vieme, to zase roztočíme. Napríklad oficiálne. Oficiálne to budeme z buržoazie točiť. Oficiálne z buržoazie. Áno, oficiálne z buržoazie. Oficiálne z buržoazie. Tvrdo oficiálne. To rozbalenie. Ja som na točil to Sabertooth a nakaz sa rozložujem točiť Škorpióna. Čo je zaujímavé. Som určil, že Škorpión je silnejší ako Sabertooth. Asi hej, lebo sú tam oni. Asi hej, lebo má tých malých škorpiónov troch. Baby škorpiónov troch. Čo robí svoje. A dáva poison. Ty povieš, že som išiel poison stakera tam. Ty povieš, že som išiel poison stakera. Minioni poison stacker na pasívnom.
Come unto us. That expansion you feel in your mind, that growing sense of wisdom and foresight.
Ty povieš, že som išiel poison stackera.
You have accepted our invitation. We are meager insects before your intellect.
Z určitosťou sme išli poison stackera, ne?
Wise one to gaze upon you. Bask in his infinite wisdom.
Any new food places? I've met a lot of resourceful.
Žena, a čo mi niečo daj, predá mi nejaký tovar. Predá mi tovar. Tieto rosty. Často zaboliť skôr vysenská liga retardov. Kodraní neandertálci chorí na brzgany v hlave. Pičusovia odrovnáci. Všetko chorí barbaržoti. Všetko chorci. Všetko chorci. Ale teda... Že prečo za 450 kg. Čo sa mi zase nahromadilo, kurník šopa drátinka. Dov'è che unigata?
Let's talk through some new shiny things we're going to be finding. starting with the new Blight Two-Handed Staff. And this is one of the few minion items in this patch. You can get +2 to Skeleton Mages, +2 to Minion Necrotic skills, +2 to Minion Cold skills, +2 to Minion Lightning skills, Minion damage, chance to apply Electrify on hit with Minion skills. This is a really weird one because there is no real Minion Lightning skill. So, like, I don't know if this is maybe... Because it's 4 Skeleton Mages, obviously, but there's no Lightning on the Mage tree. So sometimes they put in an item and it's for like a future update, maybe skill sigils. They talked about Necro and Lich getting an update for Season 3. So I think maybe this is more of a Season 3 item, but we will test it. Moving over to Brewmaster's Buckle. And I'm a health, endurance threshold player, so I like this one a lot. 10% of max health gained is endurance threshold for 4 seconds when you use a potion. Health gained on potion use, vitality, endurance, and potion slots. And down here, there's a little hidden clue on this item for Season 2. They say beer makes you bold. I say it makes you unbreakable. Maybe this does something for the way your potions look. Moving over to the new Needle Two-Handed Sword. This is 90 melee damage, 8% melee critical strike. Block chance is converted to parry chance when you're not wielding a shield, which obviously this is a two-handed sword, so the only time you'd be holding a shield is if you were using the new Forge Guard node. Up to 25% melee critical strike multiplier per meter from the target. Up to 5 meters, which means this can go up to 125% crit multiplier. Increased range on Firebrand and Puncture. Melee damage, 90, strength, and dex. Unbelievable item. We'll talk about cocooned items later. Moving over to an item that's already broken and probably needs to be nerfed. This is Countenance of Majasa. And this is a new shield. Each second, every enemy looking at you has up to a 20% chance to be petrified. When you block an enemy, it has up to a 25% chance to be petrified. Block effectiveness applies to damage over time as if it was been blocked, and block effectiveness. Now, is it harder to petrify a boss? Yes. Can you petrify a boss? Yes. Unbelievable item. Crystal Wind. This is a new quiver. The implicits is chance to shred armor on hit, increased shred armor effectiveness, and then there's a new modifier, Crystal Wind. Gain 4 stacks of Crystal Wind per second while moving, and 4 stacks when you evade. Directly using a bow attack consumes up to 4 stacks of Crystal Wind and deals up to 15% multiplicative damage. Chance to slow bosses and rare enemies with Crystal Wind, and again, 5% chance to petrify other enemies on hit with a stack of Crystal Wind. Movement speed and cooldown recovery. So petrify is a new term you need to put into your brain for Last Epoch. Moving on to a new unique helmet. This is Dominance of the Tundra. And basically what this does is when you evade, you also cast Glaciers. It gives you strength, armor, intelligence, reduced bonus damage from critical strikes, and gives you a bigger evade distance. So now you can just keep evading and kill everything as you move with your Glaciers. Moving on to an item we talked about on the Town Portal podcast yesterday, Downfall of the Righteous. Probably one of my favorite uniques. Almost made me season start a Warlock. Fire resistance, curse damage, increased health, leech from fire and necrotic damage over time. Curse damage, which fire deals more, multiplicative damage equal to 66% of your increased curse damage. And while you have both Ignite Overload and Damn Overload, enemies within 10 meters are inflicted with Witch Fire every second. Unreal. The new Innovation Belt. This is poison and cold base with 4 potion slots. Your critical strikes chance also applies to your potion use. When you use a potion, use crits. The health and ward are immediately gained from its multiplied by a percentage of your critical strike multiplier. Critical strike multiplier applies to your potions. Any potion players out there? Health gained, ward gained, increased critical strike chance, and critical strike multiplier. The new Innovation Belt. Moving over to the Essence Weaver. And of course...
Jsi imbecil, na čo ťa pozvám tu. Aká stránka je to? Toto, ne? Ja som tú stránku pozeral. Toto je ono. Táto je za tiež OK, I guess. Tu indexes. To je nejaká sračka sa stránka. Kde je tá stránka, ktorú používa jeden pitches? Toto je ono? Je, toto je ono. Toto je ono. Last Epoch, Toolscom. 200 sword. Mace. X. Tuto Apatimovo som chcel. Toto dropuje z toho pitchesa. Nikdy som nezónal túto seker. Dropuje z toho pitchesa. A keď som sa nevykadil, a keď som sa nevykadil. Toto je dobrá vec. Dá minion tomu damage a tomu života. Kedy pridali túto? Táto neexistovala, tuším, keď som to odsypal ja. Táto neexistovala, som vyznal, keď som to odsypal ja. Pretože si nepamätám. Čo je toto za level? Musí byť aj 35 nič. To nie sú ani dobré veci. Najlepšie bola táto sáčka, tento apathy mall. To aj tak používam. Som aj tak používal klasického dropera, ktorého som si špeciálne lízol. Ale zaujímavé veci, ukážem, aké body armor sú tu. Ja som tiež používal vlastný. You do not regenerate health. What a shitstorm. V podstate predali sme to Furiousa jedného a stavka ze 109 model. Veľmi zaujímavé. Veľmi zaujímavá dekadencia. Aby to povedal. Je to tvrdé, no je to tvrdé. A bude sa otačať znova last depoch. Neskôr na chôrdze ostalo primitívne rozsrtali retardovaných bastardov. Tá extrémna svastika pozadých pičicov. V pohľade ja tak šokujúce sa im podalo vyhať 2 zápasy v rade z dola. Zapísali do spodnej línie, dostal spodná línia kredit? Nedostala, hej. Tuto dostal kredit top. Preto hovorím, že aj tu dostal, tu bol top. Tu dostal kredit top.
How you doing?
Spodná línia bola okriplená o 1 výhru, hej. Preto hovorím, že tá spodná línia nemá taký win rate. Aj teraz 1 výhra sa pripísala do topu, namiesto toho, aby sa pripísala do spodnej línie. Že tie kredity sú také trošku všelijaké. Rozumieme sa. Trošku smradlavejšie. No nič páni, balíme. Keby nejaké plikošky, zapamätajte si, my už tuto trošku sposlené budeme trošku fúčať. Nič prevratné nebudeme nejako odsypať, nejaký koper robíme. Trošku koprové skrepu, ale to je všetko asi. Tak no a balíme. Vidíme sa snad zajtra. Snad sa vidíme, nulak bol vytočený, kšefty boli rozbalené. Vidíme sa snad zajtra. Snad to zajtra rozbalíme, respektíve dneska. Snad to rozbalíme.